Not just last season's top two going head-to-head, but the teams that Jamie Carragher predicted will finish top and third in the Premier League this season. Have you seen anything in the opening weeks of the campaign, Jamie, that changed your mind in that respect?
Yeah, listen, we're 2 games in. We get asked for predictions, don't we? I think we were talking about that. I think it's difficult to split the top 3, really. I'm expecting City to be a lot better than they were last season. And also Arsenal. Arsenal dropped off last season from where they'd been the 2 years before. And then, Liverpool won it comfortably in the end. So I expect to see the Arsenal that we saw 2 years before that, when they were really competing with Manchester City for the title. So I sometimes forget, and I'll give that many predictions. But, the top 3 of what I've predicted before the start of the season, that could easily change. Every team could change position because, as I said, I expect this to be really tight and exciting for us this season.
I think it's fair to say as well that Arne Slot is expecting a lot better from Liverpool, albeit they're scoring goals pretty freely. It's at the back where things have not quite gone to plan so far.
Yeah, they haven't quite got the balance right yet in the team. The team is more offensive than it was last season. When you think of the players who've come into the team, the 2 fullback positions, the 2 fullbacks who've come in, I think, are probably more attacking now than what Liverpool's fullbacks were in the last couple of years. Florian Wirtz in the number 10 role is more of a classic number 10, whereas Szoboszlai was more of a workman-like midfielder, or a number 8 rather than a number 10. So I think it's just adjusting to that and just getting the fine balance. But I think if Liverpool don't get that balance right today, I think Arsenal are the team who can really hurt them.
With that in mind as well, how crucial is a game like today in the grand scheme of things? Obviously, this fixture ended in 2 draws last season. Ultimately, if Arsenal had won both games, it wouldn't have really made much difference in the title race, but it could have made things that little bit tighter. Do you expect it to have a big bearing on this title race this time around?
Listen, I think when you're playing a rival, I think you always look at the head-to-head when you're looking at, the titles decided, in May. And if it is going to be really tight between these teams, as we all expect it will be, you'd have to say, yeah, the games are important. I know it's only 3 games into the season, but I think if either a team could get a win today and go 9 points out of 9 into that international break, the transfer window then is out of the way. And in some ways, both teams are coming into this fixture nowhere near the best. We've seen Arsenal at Manchester United, we've seen Liverpool in the 2 games. Obviously Arsenal had a good result against Leeds, but until he got the first goal, you're looking at it thinking, okay, is this the same Arsenal where they're finding it difficult to break teams down at home? So yeah, I think it's all on today, with both teams sort of not got anything to prove, but probably need a step up in terms of performance.
Who then do you see as favourites today?
Liverpool, they're at Anfield. Arsenal without the best player, Saka. So I would say Liverpool are the favourites.
At the same time, Arsenal have got that solid defensive unit, of course. We saw Timber having 2 assists and 2 goals and an assist last week as well. And they score goals from set pieces. They're a big threat once again coming on.
They're a massive threat. They are. They're a brilliant team. They have been for 2 or 3 years. They just can't get over the line. And not just in the Premier League, in other competitions as well. But Mikel Arteta has been backed once again in the summer market, as has Slot for Liverpool. But Liverpool bring money in as well. Arsenal don't really do that. So when you actually look at what the board have given Mikel Arteta in terms of expenditure over these last few years, they've gone big on him, and they're probably looking for some return this season.
That's where the pressure comes for him, isn't it?
Yeah, it does. But listen, up until now he's done a wonderful job. But there is competition in the Premier League. You're up against Pep Guardiola and Man City the last few years, and they've just edged them. It's tough. You're up against one of the greatest managers of all time, and the season when City drop off, Arsenal have a little drop off, and Liverpool just sneak in there really and almost take the crown that maybe Arsenal felt would be theirs when City did drop off. So I think it is all on for Arsenal. There'll be more eyes on Arsenal this season probably than Manchester City and Liverpool, because, as I say, those 2 clubs have won the Premier League title.
What do you think then it's done for their mentality? The fact that they have been knocking on the door season after season, but as you say, there was that slight drop-off last season where they weren't able to take advantage of Manchester City not being at their best.
Yeah, I think it's hard for teams to continually coming back when they feel, they continually hit the bar, if you like, and just getting really close and short. But I do think there is a really strong mentality with Mikel Arteta and the players that he's got. I think of Declan Rice and the 2 centre-backs, these have been there now for a good few years, and they're really close. I was there as a player myself. You think you're really close, but, the Premier League is, we're talking about the top league in the world, and it is difficult. So I'm not big on all this criticism of Arsenal because they haven't won the league. They've been shown fantastic consistency over the last sort of 3 seasons, but they will be judged by trophies, and they need something this season. It may not be the Premier League, but they need to put something on the board.
Is Gyökeres that number 9 that could make the difference for them?
He could. I'm still convinced that Havertz will have a big role to play when he's back fit. I think when Havertz was at his best and Arsenal's Mikel Arteta's Arsenal were at the best a couple of seasons ago, that was a really top team. I'd be really interested to see how Gyökeres does today up against Van Dijk. I mean, Haaland finds it tough coming here, so I won't be sort of jumping on the bandwagon if he doesn't do particularly well. But really interesting to see how he copes with the two Liverpool centre-backs.
Just one final thought, because it's nice that we've been talking about football and purely about the game, but obviously the transfer deadline hits tomorrow, and we're still expecting possible movement here at Liverpool. Do you expect that with Isak, possibly Marc Guehi? And do they need that as well?
Well, all the stewards said Isak's coming, didn't
they? They've been telling me all morning.
Yeah, I think both those deals will get done. Yeah, I would imagine so. It looks like Liverpool put a bid in last night. I think they're arguing or fighting over 5 million, which is probably peanuts now in this day and age. And with Newcastle obviously getting one striker in, I'm sure they're working today and tomorrow to get another one, and I'm sure they will get somebody in. And then I think it's better for Newcastle that Isak moves on as well. I mean, he's ruined their first sort of 3 games of the season. I was doing the game yesterday. Didn't look like scoring a goal. They've played really well as well in the first 3 games. Not so much yesterday, but in the first 2. And they deserve more points than they probably got, but they haven't got anybody up top. So just get Isak out the club, get your money, and obviously it looks like he's going to come to Liverpool and get other strikers and move on.
Thanks, Jamie. Thanks for joining us. So we're expecting, obviously, those transfers to get over the line ahead of that deadline tomorrow, but we're also expecting big entertainment here at Anfield when last season's top 2 go head-to-head, Liverpool versus Arsenal, and it is live on Sky Sports.